snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the first 3 books in the History Keepers series, which is by Damian Dibben. I started reading this series back in July last year. I got this second one as an advance reader copy, so I went out and bought the first one so that this one would also make sense to me, and I recently read the third one as well, so I'm going to review them all for you, non-spoiler, in this video. So the first book in this series is The Storm Begins, and this is the first one. It is a middle grade series which is all about a main character who is called Jake de Jones. He is our main character throughout all of the books in this series, and in this one he goes to a regular school. He's a fairly regular kind of guy, but his parents are frequently away. He doesn't see them all that much, and they often go away on long business trips. And one day he's waiting for them to come home, and they haven't come back when they said that they were going to, so he's a little bit worried and concerned. And then he gets taken by some people who he doesn't know. He's quite scared, he's quite worried. They say that his parents have told them to take him, and he doesn't believe them, but they take him to this whole entirely new world where he goes and he discovers that actually his parents are not quite what they've been telling him. They haven't been going away on business trips abroad. They've actually been going away on business throughout time, and they are time travellers. This series is wonderful. I do not think that this series gets anywhere near enough recognition, which is why I wanted to review the first 3 in this series as opposed to just the last one, which I read the most recently, because I think that this series is just as good as the Percy Jackson series, if not better. I really, really love this series, and I don't hear anyone talking about this. I don't think I've heard anyone on BookTube at all talking about this series. So if you like middle grade fiction, if you like Percy Jackson, and you like that sort of age group and genre, this is a really, really fun, wonderful series, and I would definitely highly, highly recommend this. So throughout this entire series, I loved all of the characters. The characters are so much fun. Jake starts out as a little bit nervous, but as he goes through all these different adventures in time to different places, and he goes on different missions to do all sorts of things for the History Keepers and make sure that no one ruins history, he grows so much as a character, and by book number 3, which is called Nightship to China, he really is a very strong character, and we're really, really rooting for him to be okay and to make sure that he gets through whatever adventure comes his way. So I also really love the other characters in this book. It's not just Jake. There is Topaz, who is a young French girl. She is also a part of the History Keepers, and she and Jake get very close fairly quickly. They are really good friends. There's also Nathan, who is a fashionista. He is obsessed with fashion throughout all of the ages, very, very funny. He's very witty, very comical the whole way through the series, and I really enjoyed his personality, although he is a little bit stuck up and he does kind of consider himself to be above the others sometimes, but they know when to put him in his place, and they have a really fun, loving relationship. Then we have Charlie. Charlie is a darling. He is so sweet. He's also a very, very good chef. He is very good at cooking up all sorts of treats and delicious things for them to eat on their journeys. He's got a very level head. He's a very kind and sensitive young man, and he's very, very loving towards all of his friends. In book number 3, we've encountered another young friend of theirs who is called Yo-Yo. She is from China, and she is very, very interesting and exciting, very intelligent as well. So there are so many absolutely wonderful characters in this series. I'm sure you will fall in love with them, as I did, if you do read this series, because they are so wonderful and they just have been so well developed, and they're very, very believable. The adventures themselves that they get up to are just as entertaining, just as fun. They go on all sorts of journeys to all sorts of different places in time. The adventure that they have in the first book is mainly to discover the whereabouts of Jake's parents, who have gone missing in time, and it's a big adventure that they really don't know how well Jake is going to handle this, because he has only just learned right at the beginning of this first book what has really been going on throughout his lifetime and where his parents have really been going when they said that they were going abroad. So no one's really sure how he's going to handle it, but he takes it on full in his stride, and he is such a fun little adventurer very resourceful and just a very, very endearing character to read about. This story is so fun. I really loved it and I would definitely recommend it. I actually rated this one 5 stars because I was just loving the story the whole way through. I laughed and I just enjoyed it. It was so witty. There were moments where I was just rooting for the characters, wanting them to sort everything out, and it's just wonderful. I cannot begin to praise the series more. For a children's fiction, it is one of the most interesting and exciting. I can definitely see this lasting out for many, many books, and I really want to see where it's going to go. So in the storyline of the second one, which is called Circus Maximus, they actually journey to ancient Rome, and you get to learn so much about the Colosseums and the architecture of the time and the style of the time. That's one of the things that I absolutely adore about this series. If you like history and if you want your kids to get into history, let them read this story. It is one of the best, and it teaches you so much about the culture of the time and the places that were around in the time, the fashion sense, the food that they used to eat. Everything and anything is covered in these books, and it's in a really, really interesting and engaging way. So 100% so well written. And in this final book that has only fairly recently come out, Nightship to China, they actually travel to the Ming Dynasty in China, and all of these cultures that they travel to are so different. The first one Venice, the second one Rome, and the third one China. Vastly different. So interesting, so energetic, so much fun to read about, and I would just rate this series so highly. I rated the first one 5 stars out of 5, the second one 4, and the third one 4 as well. I love them all, they are so wonderful, and I cannot wait to see where the series is going, because the third one is left on a giant cliffhanger, as they all kind of are. They want you to carry on reading. I would just love to know what you guys think of this series if any of you have read it, and I would love to know if any of you are planning to read it after watching this review. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love this series. I cannot speak more highly about it, and please do let me know if you plan to pick it up, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!